Okay, so let's move on then now. So we're going to write some code now. So we're going to go up to the code setting and we're going to write a comment up there. We're going to put quite a few of them in there. And the first comment is our name. Oh, typo. The next comment is always the date. And then I'm going to say what it's going to be. So collection Javascript apps. So the first thing I do whenever I'm working a piece of software is I define the variables. So we need to tell the computer what is where. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up define any functions. Okay, and then we're going to start writing code. All right, and so this is going to be in my navigation, and that's where I'm going to start. Okay, so everything in yellow is a UI, so user interface, anything to do with the input and the output. And on event, this is an event driven language, and when we press the button that's on the menu that says one dice, we want the screen, which is the third one from the bottom, set screen, we want to set that screen to one dice. Or if I press the button that's on 1D that says home, I want to go home and go back to the menu. Okay, so I'm going to run, and here we go. So here's my page. I'm going to press one dice, and it's jumped to my one dice page. And if I press home, happy days, I've gone home. Lovely. So now I'm going to write the code for one dice. I'm going to make a big number on the one dice page. So I'm going to stop the running. I'm going to go to design, and I'm going to go to one dice, and I'm going to insert another label. So I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to make the width of that I'm going to make it 300. I am going to start that, the height of that is going to be 200. Yeah, it's nice and big. The X position is going to be 10, so it's going to match around the edges. The Y position, if you remember, is 60. Text color is going white, so I'm going to drag it to white. Excuse me, I'm doing this while the bell goes. Courier, centered, border of 4, border radius of 10. All right, so I'm going to change that border radius to border color to white, and I'm going to see how big I can make this font. Yeah, so probably the biggest thing I'm going to want to put on there is 6. So I'm going to write the word 6. Look at that, nice and big. I can go even bigger. Let's go 250. That's a little bit, but I've got some more space down here, so I can make that a bit bigger. So let's change the height of that to 250. That's too long. 240. I want that nice gap. There's no gap there. 230. Okay, so notice, see, I've got that nice gap there and there as well, and that's perfect, and that sits in there nicely. Okay, so I'm going to call that label underscore 1D underscore dice. All right, I go back to my code. I'm going to go to functions. I'm going to get another comment, and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to say one dice code. Alright, so that's going to tell me everything I need to know. It tells me where it is. So I'm going to go to here. When I press my roll button, so I'm looking for an event, and the event is when I press my one dice roll button, I want a random number to appear in here. So I'm going to set text, which is the label 1D dice, and I'm going to set it to a random number in here. So I'm going to go to mass, random number between 1 and 6. Okay, alright, so let's give it a run. Press one dice, I press roll, and it changes. Now sometimes it doesn't change on there because I just pressed it in and went on 1 and 1. So I'm going to want to make that a little bit better.